So today we're going to do things a bit different, and this will be a sort of live unboxing review. And well, I've bought a new monitor. So let's quickly get it out of the box and set it up and see how it does. Cool, it comes with the USB cable. That's nice. HDMI. DisplayPort. 2-prong power, which is for the sadly external power brick. 19 volts at 4.19 amps. Okay. Oh, DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort and a Rogue cap. From what I've read, this is the adapter plate you need to convert the monitor from the stand to a VESA mount. And then you have VESA 100 and 200 available. I might do that in the future, but not right now. Okay. Okay, let's move to the desk and see how it looks there. So my current temporary setup looks a bit like this. And I say temporary because we've only just moved about last week, and we're planning on building a custom desk and stuff like that. But that takes time, so that will be somewhere in the future. And although my desk looks kind of tidy right now, if you take a gander to the right, not so much. If you're interested in what all this is about, check out my other home networking videos. There'll be more following soon, but this video is about my new monitor. So currently I have a triple monitor setup, and it's basically the one in the middle is a Korean import crossover monitor. It's a 2560 by 1440 IPS display, and I've had it for I think 2, maybe 3 years, and I've been very satisfied with it. The one on the left is a Dell U2410. It's supposedly a professional screen, 1920 by 1200. And the one on the right is an old Dell 21-inch something, I don't even remember. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep the crossover on my desk next to the Samsung, and well, let's do a comparison. First off, let's just put it on the desk and see how it looks. As you can see, that looks absolutely massive. Okay. Well, if I see it from this angle, you can easily replace 2 monitors by itself. So, yeah. An interesting thing to note is that the hinge that does the height adjustment is integrated into the monitor itself. And even if you attach the VESA mount, the hinge stays attached, so you keep your height adjustment ability. The monitor itself feels very light, but as you can see, it's standing pretty sturdy on the table, so they did a good job designing the stand. Okay, let's see how it looks. So on the right, I have my crossover 2560 by 1440 H IPS display. It's rumored to have the same panel as a Apple Cinema display. It's a few years old now, and it's a great screen, just the color accuracy is horrible, but you can download some color profiles from the internet and then it actually does pretty well. And on the left we have the Samsung CF791, a 1340 by 1440 ultra-wide display capable of a 100 Hz. So yeah. Okay, let me adjust the picture a little bit, see if I can get it correctly on the video. I think I'm going to have to lower the camera to get the person eye view, I guess, because I can already see from that angle. Although you can still clearly see the screen, the colors or the contrast does change a little bit. And if you're sitting right in front of it, it's a much better. So let me readjust. I have a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080, so no FreeSync. And let's see if I can set it to 100 Hz. Yeah, seems to do that just fine. 8-bit color depth, full dynamic range, RGB. Okay, that's looking fine. On first impressions, it looks pretty good. It does look different than IPS though. It's definitely not an IPS panel. And I've had issues with that in the past. I'm very much a promoter for IPS, but everything Samsung said this should be just as good or even better. So, yeah. Oh wow. I'm sure it doesn't show up in camera, but I really love the smoothness of 100 Hertz. That's just awesome. Makes the 60 Hertz screen look like, I don't know, it's lagging or something, but this is just what you're normally used to, and this is just buttery smooth. Wow, that's awesome. So, yeah, let me do some tests and I'll get back to you, and I'll try and show you some footage and how it looks and my first conclusions. So, I'm going to round off the video. My first quick impressions are that the panel looks, well, awesome. It is a VA panel though, and as I've said before, I really like IPS and the way it, well, basically looks or shows or whatever you want to call it. And VA, for me, I tested 4 4K televisions last year and I basically ended up returning all of them. VA has a lot of good properties, but one of the bad properties is that if you're not directly looking at a pixel, it's somehow skewed, and especially in color rendition. And with the TVs, the problem I had is that while the color in the middle would be spot on, the color on the sides would actually show a color shift, even on the same screen sitting right in front of it. And I thought, okay, well, this is a VA panel too. But since this is the new Quantum Dot blah blah blah, I was hoping it wouldn't be as bad or noticeable at all. And I have to say, it's the best I've ever seen on a VA panel. I just need to decide for myself what I think of it and if it's a good fit for me. But for gaming, as you can see in the Doom footage earlier and in the Overwatch footage, wow, the colors really pop and the 100 Hertz is just awesome. One quick side note, I also do some video editing, and I do this at 30 frames a second. So I tested to see if the display would accept 90 frames a second, because then you wouldn't have a divider which wouldn't be, well, a multiple of the frame rate you're trying to show. And as you can see, it's actually doing 90 Hertz. So that's a good thing. I haven't really, I'm still testing, and as I said, I'm going to round off this video. And I think I'm going to make another video in a few days or in a week to tell you my experience, if I'm keeping the screen or well, yeah, my experience up until then. So stay tuned, and well, if you have any questions about the screens or things you'd like tested, I did do the UFO tests and stuff like that. Those were all successful, so it's really doing actual 90 Hz and actual 100 Hz. I hooked it up using DisplayPort, and well, as I said, if you have any more questions, just let me know in the comments below.